Chapter 7. The Magnetic Gaze. What is known as the magnetic gaze is the expression of a strong mental demand by means of the eyes whose nerves and muscles have been trained for the work, and which is thereby enabled to maintain a firm, steady, positive gaze. The production of the mental effort will be explained in a subsequent lesson, and we will now speak only of the eye itself. The following exercises are very important, and I trust that the student will closely follow the same. By the practice you will so develop this faculty that few will be able to withstand your gaze. This is a most interesting study, and you will have the pleasure of seeing the increase of the power of your eyes manifested by the people with whom you come in contact. You will soon find that people will become restless and uneasy beneath your gaze, and some will manifest indications of something akin to fear if you concentrate your gaze upon them for a few seconds. When once you have mastered this accomplishment and have acquired the strong magnetic gaze, you would not part with your gift for a large sum of money. You should not content yourself with merely performing the exercises given below, but should experiment on persons with whom you come in contact and note the results. You can acquire a perfect working knowledge of the power of the eye only by experiment upon live subjects. Exercises. Exercise 1. Take a piece of white writing paper about 6 inches square, upon which you have drawn a circle about the size of a silver $quarter. The circle then being filled in with black ink, so that the spot will stand out black and distinct upon the white background. Pin the paper upon the wall at about the height of your eyes when you are seated. Place your chair in the middle of the room and seat yourself directly facing the paper. Fix your eyes steadily upon the black spot and gaze at it firmly, without winking, for 1 minute. After resting the eyes, practice the exercise again. After resting the eyes, practice the exercise again. Repeat 5 times with the chair in its original place. Move your paper 3 feet to the right of its original position. Seat yourself and fix your gaze on the wall directly in front of you. Then, without moving your head, cast your eyes to the right and gaze steadily at the spot for 1 minute. Repeat 4 times. Then place the paper on the wall 3 feet to the left of its original position. Gaze steadily at the spot for 1 minute. Repeat 5 times. Continue this exercise for 3 days, and then increase the time of the gaze to 2 minutes. At the end of 3 more days, increase the time to 3 minutes, and so on, increasing the time in 1-minute increments in every 3 days. Some people have acquired the power of gazing steadily for 20 to 30 minutes without winking or having their eyes filled with water, but I do not advise extending the limit beyond 15 minutes. The man who can maintain the gaze for 15 minutes can direct as powerful a gaze as he has attained the 30-minute record. This exercise is the most important one, and if faithfully followed up, will enable you to gaze steadily and earnestly at anyone with whom you are talking. It will impart a strong, masterful expression to the eye, and enable you to maintain a steady gaze, which few will be able to understand. Dogs and other animals will quail before your gaze, and its effect will manifest itself also in numerous other ways. The practice of the exercises is somewhat tedious, but anyone will be amply repaid for the time and trouble bestowed upon it. If you are practicing hypnotism, you will find this gaze most helpful to you. It will have a further effect of causing the eye to appear fuller by increasing the space between the eyelids. Exercise 2. You may supplement the first exercise with the following, which will add variety, relieve the monotony, and accustom you to gaze into the eyes of others without embarrassment. Stand in front of your mirror and gaze into the reflection of your own eyes in the manner mentioned in Exercise 1. Increase the time as in previous exercises. This exercise will accustom you to bear the gaze of others, and also will enable you to obtain the best expression of the eye, and in other ways will be useful to you. It will enable you to see the growth and development of the characteristic expression of your eye when it is acquiring the magnetic gaze. By all means, practice this exercise systematically. Some authorities prefer this exercise to the preceding one, but in my opinion, the best results are obtained by a combination of the two. Exercise 3. Stand erect, facing the wall at a distance of 3 feet. Place your sheet of paper in front of you, with the spot directly in front of your eyes. Fix your gaze upon the spot and then move your head around in a circle, keeping your gaze fixed upon the spot. As this exercise causes the eyes to roll around and keep the gaze steady, the nerves and muscles receive considerable exercise. Vary the exercise by circling the head in different directions. Use the exercise mildly at first and avoid tiring the eyes. Exercise 4. Stand with your back against the wall and facing toward the opposite wall, shift your gaze rapidly from one point of the wall to the other, right, left, up, down, zigzag, circle, etc. This exercise should be discontinued when the eyes begin to feel tired, the best plan for concluding the exercise being to gaze intently at one point, which will rest the eyes after the previous motion. This exercise is calculated to strengthen the muscles and nerves of the eyes. Exercise 5. After having acquired a firm gaze, you will gain confidence by persuading a friend to allow you to practice your gaze upon him. Place your friend in a chair opposite your own. Sit down and gaze calmly, steadily and firmly into his eyes, instructing him to look at you as long as he can. You will find that you will easily tire him out, and that by the time he cries enough, he will be in almost hypnotic condition. If you have a hypnotic subject, he or she will answer still better. You also may try the strength of your gaze on a dog, cat, or other animal, provided that you are able to induce it to stand still or lie still. You will find, however, that most animals will move away or turn the head in order to avoid your steady gaze. You, of course, will distinguish between a steady, calm gaze and an impudent stare. The first is indicative of the man of strong physical power, whilst the latter denotes the cad. You will find at first that your strong, steady gaze may somewhat disconcert those with whom you come in contact, and may embarrass those at whom you are directing your gaze, causing them to become uneasy and rattled. You will soon accustom yourself to your new power, and will use it discreetly so as to avoid embarrassment to others while producing an effect on them. I would caution you against discussing or speaking of your eye exercise or practice of personal magnetism to others, as that course would result only in making people suspicious of you, and in other ways proving a serious detriment to the proper use of your powers of influencing people. Keep your own secrets and let your force manifest itself by results, not by boasting. In addition to these reasons, there are good occult reasons why you should keep your own counsel about your new accomplishments. A neglect to observe this advice will be a source of regret to you. Take your time in practicing this exercise and do not rush unduly. Follow nature's rule and develop your power gradually but surely. End of chapter.